Okay, so welcome everybody to another Wainuiomata shopping centre update. This video is going to be in a couple of parts. So, as I record right now, it's Saturday the 8th of May. The old countdown here is still open, and in a minute we'll cut to a little look around inside the old store, a final look before it closes down, because in a couple of weeks' time the new countdown will open. It's been built. We'll also take a look at that in a minute, and we shall see. And then later on in the video, we'll jump forward a couple of weeks to when that store has opened, and then we'll have another look. Down this end, you can see that the Ministry of Social Development, or otherwise known as Work and Income, have now moved out of the old former warehouse store where they were before. So now the surviving end of the shopping centre is now completely closed, apart from the McDonald's. Can't even really see in there. We'll go around and have a look at the other side in a minute. So the only parts of the old mall that are still open are the old countdown, that's changing in a couple of weeks, and the McDonald's. The McDonald's is actually not going anywhere. This is one of the only parts of the building that isn't going to be demolished. This is staying. And then round here is the former warehouse store. And if you're not from NZ, then the warehouse is like a big, box retailer. They're like a department store. I don't really know how to describe them. They're a bit like, I don't know, like Walmart or something for my US viewers. But that actual store here, the warehouse, now I'm not entirely sure how true this is, but my understanding is that this is actually a later edition, because the shopping centre was built in the 60s, and my understanding is that this was a later edition in possibly the 80s or 90s. I'm not entirely sure of that, but I believe that to be the case. And as far as I'm aware, I think that this part of the mall, is also going to be surviving. And I believe that they're going to be keeping this building and renovating it. I'm not entirely sure. There's actually a small mimic here for the fire alarm system. It must be old because it's life safety and they've just gone bust, I think. But you can see here are lots of the parts of the mall. So all of these areas up here, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, those have all been demolished. And then where we are here, G, that's where we are, that's still here, and H, I, J and K, those are all still there, because that's the countdown store there, H, I, J, K, and then that G, that's over there by the McDonald's, and then A, B, C, D and E, this is this building here, the red bit, as is highlighted by this blue outline around here. Don't know if L is still there or not. I believe L has been demolished also. And then the new countdown store is being built right here. So a lot of this has gone. Okay, so we shall now cut to just a little bit of a look around of the old countdown store before it closes down. This bit will look a little bit different because it's being filmed on my mobile phone rather than on my big camera, because it is just a bit more inconspicuous. And then once we've done that, I'll meet you round on the other side. Okay, nearly the end of an era. We're now only a couple of weeks away from the new countdown, which you can see down there, opening. And we'll just take one final look at the old countdown before the new one opens. There's the map, and there is the real thing. Looking good, eh? You can see here, this is actually where the old countdown is, right here. This is all going to be demolished, make way for car parking. They're going to build some new retail there, and a new childcare there. That's new there, that's the Ministry of Education office, that's already open. They've actually already built part of this road here. That's going to be I'm not sure if that's being built or if that's an existing building. I think that's going to be new, and that is not new. That is the red building over there, the former warehouse store. That wasn't built till that wasn't built in the 60s as part of the shopping centre. That was a much later addition, so they're keeping that and just sort of renovating it. At least I believe that's the idea. This sign, there's another angle in the drawing, and then they're also showing some of the other retail that they're building or going to be building as well. So we walk into the old Countdown and we go through what is not actually a very big foyer, and it's actually got a lot of trolleys crammed into it as well. As we enter in through the barriers, we can see that it is an older store, and you can see all of the red pipes and beams up on the ceiling. Now, having the ceiling all exposed like this is very common in New Zealand supermarkets. That's the sort of thing that you'd expect to see anyway. But definitely the sort of the dark red colour, I think, definitely shows the age of the building. But even though it's an older supermarket, it's still in reasonable shape. You can see quite a few scuff marks on the floor where it's and also see where some of the floor tiles have been replaced over the years. But other than that, it's not in too bad a shape. It's clearly been looked after, had some redecoration, and quite a lot of the signage has been updated to reflect the current Countdown branding. The store is also still fairly well stocked, even though it was only 5 days away from closing when I actually shot this footage, which is understandable. It is the only supermarket in Wainuiomata. If this store is closed, then you have to go all the way into Lower Hutt City itself. So that's kind of understandable, but definitely an older building, and you can really tell it's from the 60s, 70s, but still in reasonable condition. Okay, we're back from our tour of the old Countdown store, and you can now see here where the first part of the new road going through has been built, and it now joins up here. They were actually working on this bit yesterday round here, and they had a diversion going up all the way through there while they concreted this in. So I'm guessing that when the new Countdown store opens, I'm guessing this is going to open because all the road markings are in loading zone. So over there, look, is the old building over there where we've stood by in the past, and you can actually see the back end of the old so that there is the other side of the old warehouse store, and you can see just how little is left of the shopping centre. So come just a little bit further up here. Right now over here I'm actually standing pretty much on what used to be building. And then once we get up here, we're pretty much in the front door of the shopping centre. So this is the new retail block that I pointed out in the last video. It's actually not retail, it's actually the new Ministry of Social Development office. There's nobody here today because it's Saturday. And there's the fire panel that we looked at in the last video. This is the repeater. The actual panel's over the back somewhere. O-Tear fire. And you can actually see here where the line markings are in. There's a zebra crossing down there. Eventually, this road will go straight through to the other side, and that little bit there that we can see in front of us, that will eventually be demolished, and this road will go all the way through. We come over there, you can see the repeater for the Countdown. That's 2 zones as well, just like this. Also our tier fire. And also a notify system. I'm assuming that it's eventually all going to have notify systems. No idea what model. I reckon that they're probably only CFP16 conventional systems, given that they've only got a couple of zones, but you never know. Now we can actually walk through here, past the MOD, past the MSD office, sorry, and then round the back. Here you can see the back of the new MSD, the back of the new Countdown. And then this here is the back of the shops on the main street there. So this round here will be the goods entrance. there's another repeater panel for the fire alarm system. They've put 3 repeater panels in the new countdown, one round there, another one round the back here, and then another one at the front. That's interesting. 3 repeaters for the fire alarm system. That is unexpected. So you can see the back of it here. We're not going to go any closer because there are still a few contractors working today. And then you can see over there the old countdown where we were earlier on. Fantastic. Right. Well, I'll head back. So I've got to get back to my car. That's pretty much it for today. So this new store, it's nearly finished. Look, you can see pallets stacked up there where they've had things delivered. Everything being unboxed. All the shelves are probably going to be stocked. They're probably going to start getting the shelves stocked up soon if they haven't already. I mean, in a couple of weeks, that will be open. And now, fortunately for you guys, this is the internet, so you don't have to wait 2 weeks. I do. You don't have to wait 2 weeks because this is YouTube. So by the magic of cinema, let's fast forward a couple of weeks into the future now. Right, so it is now Saturday the 15th of May. It's been exactly 1 week since I did all the other footage, and they switched over to the new countdown 2 days ago on Thursday, and you can see the old countdown here. And as you can see, the first thing that's immediately apparent is the signage has already been taken down now that the new store is open, and construction fencing is already up, ready for this building to be pulled down, to be cleared out, and then eventually pulled down. We're still using the old car park at the moment. The new car park won't open until this building's been knocked down and the space for the car park has been laid. So that's where we're at the moment with that. So this round here is the wooden fence they were finishing off last week. As you can see, there's now 2 gaping holes in it as we walk through to where the new countdown is fully open. The new road through there that links out to the main road, that's now open, and the through road here is now open. There's a few car parking spaces here, but those are only disabled bays and the pickup, because this is the first ever countdown in Wellington to have the sort of the on-site pickup order section in it. We'll go in and have a look in a minute. I'll switch over to the phone for that, and then we will go and have a look. So now going into the new countdown, and this is a completely different atmosphere. It's like no countdown I've ever been in previously. It's modern, it's spacious, it's not crammed, and everything looks just amazing. It's got all the wonderful new signage in it, and it just looks brilliant. And they've also done some really clever things, like the way they've done the layout of the store, and they've actually put things in areas where you normally expect to find them in a supermarket, and they've got all these new clever fridges and everything with these doors on, and they've really moved a lot of things around based on how people shop. Like they've put the milk right after the fruit and veg rather than near the end of the supermarket where most supermarkets have it, probably because they realise that customers like to put their milk in the trolleys first because it's heavy and they don't want it to crush anything. So they've really put the thought into the layout of the store, and I really, really like that. And outside of that, it's a wonderful, nice, beautiful, new modern store, and I think this is a great example of what countdown supermarkets will be like in the future. And yeah, it was really, really good. Here you can see the entrance and exit to the deliveries and the pickup zones. There's the red former warehouse building that we told you about before, and you can actually now see where this new road has been built and opened through, and there's actually some more new car parking just over there. There's also a blank space there that's been levelled off. I don't know what they're going to do with that, whether they're going to dig on it, whether they're going to dig it up, whether they're going to rebuild it, build on it, I don't know at this stage. But it is right next to some houses, so remains unclear. So if you remember earlier on in the video, which was actually last week for me, the fence was up to just the end of that window there near MSD. This was all still fenced off. The road was here, all the parking spaces have been lined out, but that was it. But now we can just walk all the way through. Brilliant. And up here, the road is finished. It's a complete contrast already. I mean, such a difference has been made to this old place already, just from what they've demolished thus far and from what they've done with the new MSD and the new countdown. It's come such a long way, but yet it's incredible to think that there's still so much more work to be done, knocking down the old countdown and putting more retail space on there and more to do over that side there in the former warehouse store. It's still quite a lot of work. And then round this way, here's the new entrance in and out from this side. And you remember, just a couple of years ago, this was just pedestrianised footpath. There never used to be a road here. When I made my video with doing a tour of the old shopping centre, I would have walked right down the middle of this. And you can see the rest of the shopping area. You can see here by the old warehouse store this Wormold or Vigilant FP1600 here that was a mimic repeater panel that indicated part of the fire alarm system for the old building. Kind of an unconventional way of doing this, because they put all the LEDs in each zone rather than down the list where they normally would. And you can actually see where somebody's been through with a permanent marker and crossed out all of the zones that have been demolished. All of those areas L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S and T have all been demolished. But A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J and K are what's left. But as far as I'm aware, G, H, I, J and K are the next areas to be knocked down. And then the two over there, the MSD and the countdown are on, even though they look like just one single building, they're actually treated as two separate buildings, and they're on two separate fire alarm systems. Both are Notifier brand systems installed by OTIA Group. I know Countdown uses Chubb for maintenance at most of their sites, so I'm guessing Chubb will end up doing the maintenance. This one here is still under Fire Security Services, but, well, it was under Life Safety Services, but they've just gone bust, so Fire Security Services took over. They took over all the maintenance of Life Safety sites. Surprised that they've only used two zones on the fire alarm system. Normally for a big market, for a big supermarket, I'd expect to see a lot more than that. And they've bought a fairly expensive analog addressable Notifier AFP 3030. They've actually put three repeaters, one here, another one at the front, and another one by the back entrance, which is more than I would expect. Normally you'd only find the one, but interesting choice. I'm personally, I think that's a good thing, having more repeaters, because the fire brigade need those to know where an emergency is. But like I say, I'm surprised that they only use two zones. I thought they would have used a lot more, especially on a big analog addressable system like that. Now, I believe the plan eventually is that once all this is demolished, once, you can just see here what's left of the old shopping centre corridor. Remember, this once would have been the big sweeping corridor that went all the way through to the other side. And I believe that once that gets knocked down, this road will then go all the way through to the other side, which will be really good and a really handy shortcut rather than having to drive all the way around. So that will be really handy. I kind of pointed this out earlier when we were stood over there, but here you can really see the new road that they've built here. This is kind of necessary because there's one of the entrances here for trucks to come in and out, obviously doing the fresh deliveries to the supermarket. This is a brand new road. This never even used to be here, because remember, this was all shopping centre. There might have been a footpath or something, I can't quite remember. I think there might have been a way in and out of the building here, but as far as I'm aware, I don't recall there being a road here. Maybe there was, but I don't recall it. This has all been completely redone. And again, you can see the old bit of the shopping centre. Well, I think this pretty much concludes this update on the Wainuiomata shopping centre redevelopment. We've now got probably quite a bit of a wait now until they get on with the demolition of that and start the construction of the next bit. That'll probably be when we next do an update. So I don't know how long that's going to be. It might not be too long, it might be a while, but we shall see. But thank you very much for tuning in to this Wainuiomata redevelopment update. I know quite a few people have been following it quite closely, and it's also, I think it's been really great to see some of the feedback that you guys have been leaving on my videos, especially some of the people who either currently live or used to live in Wainuiomata and are keen on following up with the redevelopment. Really nice to hear your guys' thoughts and comments. Keep that coming. But that's it for now, guys, and I shall see you all next time.